Samuel 2. And it came to be afterwards that Daud inquired of Yahuah, saying, Do I go up to any of the cities of Yehudah? And Yahuah said to him, Go up. And Daud said, Where should I go up? And he said, To Hebron. And Daud went up there, as well as his 2 wives, Achinoam the Yisraelitess, and Abigail the widow of Nabal the Carmelite. And Daud brought up the men who were with him, each man with his household, and they dwelt in the cities of Hebron. And the men of Yehudah came, and anointed Daud king over the house of Yehudah there. They also reported to Daud, saying, The men of Yabesh Gilead are they who buried Saul. Daud then sent messengers to the men of Yabesh Gilead, and said to them, You are blessed of Yahuah, for you have shown this kindness to your Adoni, to Shaul, that you buried him. And now, Yahuah show kindness and truth to you, and I am also going to do you good, because you have done this deed. And now, let your hands be strong, and be brave, for your Adoni Shaul is dead, and also the house of Yehudah has anointed me king over them. But Abner son of Ner, commander of the army of Shaul, took Ish-bosheth the son of Shaul, and brought him over to Machanaim, and set him up to reign over Gilead, and over the Asherites, and over Yisrael, and over Ephraim, and over Benjamin, and over all Yisharal. Ish-bosheth, son of Shaul, was 40 years old when he began to reign over Yisharal, and he reigned 2 years. Only the house of Yehudah followed Daud. And the time that Daud was king in Hebron over the house of Yehudah was 7 years and 6 months. And Abner son of Ner, and the servants of Ish-bosheth son of Shaul, went out from Machanaim to Gibeon. And Joab son of Tzeruiah, and the servants of Daud, went out and met them by the pool of Gibeon. And they sat down, one on one side of the pool, and the other on the other side of the pool. And Abner said to Joab, Let the young men now rise, and compete before us. And Joab said, Let them rise. And they rose and went over by number, 12 from Benjamin, followers of Ish-bosheth, son of Shaul, and 12 from the servants of Daud. And each one grasped his opponent by the head, and thrust his sword in his opponent's side, and they fell down together. So that place was called the Field of Sharp Swords, which is in Gibeon. And the battle was fierce that day, and Abner and the men of Yisharal were smitten before the servants of Daud. And there were 3 sons of Tzeruiah there, Joab, and Abishai, and Asahel. And Asahel was light on his feet, as one of the gazelles in the field. And Asahel pursued Abner, and in going he did not turn aside to the right or to the left from following Abner. And Abner looked behind him, and said, Are you Asahel? And he answered, I am. And Abner said to him, Turn aside to your right hand or to your left, and lay hold on one of the young men, and take his armor for yourself. But Asahel would not turn aside from following him. And Abner again said to Asahel, Turn aside from following me. Why should I smite you to the ground? How then could I face your brother Joab? But he refused to turn aside, and Abner smote him with the blunt end of the spear in the stomach, so that the spear came out of his back. And he fell down there and died on the spot. And it came to be that as many as came to the place where Asahel fell down and died stood still. And Joab and Abishai pursued Abner. And the sun was going down, and they came to the hill of Ammah, which overlooks Giach, by the way, to the wilderness of Gibeon. And the children of Benjamin gathered together behind Abner, and became a single company, and took their stand on top of a hill. And Abner called to Joab and said, Should the sword devour forever? Do you not know that it is bitter in the latter end? And when are you going to say to the people to turn back from pursuing their brothers? And Joab said, As Elohim lives, if you had not spoken, Then all the people would have given up pursuing their brothers only the next morning. Joab then blew a ram's horn, and all the people halted and pursued Yisharal no further, nor did they fight any more. And Abner and his men went on all that night through the desert plain, and passed over the Yarden, and went through all Bithron, and they came to Machanaim. And Joab turned back from pursuing Abner. And when he had gathered all the people together, there were missing of Daud's servants 19 men and Asahel. But the servants of Daud had smitten of Benjamin and Abner's men 360 men who died. And they brought Asahel and buried him in his father's tomb, which was in Beit-Lechem. And Joab and his men went all night, and they came to Hebron at daybreak.